Hi, Stefan Svartling here from Svartling Network. So, Sony and Samsung has had their presentations on IFA in Berlin. And I start talking about Sony, because I think what Sony presented was the best things. And the Xperia Z3 looks really good actually. It has the same design as my Xperia Z1 and also the Xperia Z2, but a bit slimmer and more rounded and with thinner bezels and so on. So it looks very good now. I think that phone is the best Android phone on the market now, at least when it comes to looks, design and so on. But Sony's real new flagship phone is actually Xperia Z3 Compact, because that phone has the same specs as the Z3 and has an incredible good design and a bit smaller than the Z3 4.6 inch display. So I think that is Sony's real new flagship phone, and that could compete with the coming iPhone 6 from Apple. But sadly, Sony has made the Smartwatch 3 much uglier than before. My Smartwatch 2 has a very good design and looks really good on your arm, but the Smartwatch 3 looks like a fitness phone or something. I don't like that design. It looks terrible. And it now runs on Android Wear, and that could be both good or bad, because I think that Sony has an excellent ecosystem for their smartwatches with hundreds of apps that works great on the Sony smartwatch. But the Smartwatch 3 runs on Android Wear, and also the new Xperia Z3 Tablet Compact looks really good. It looks like it has a perfect size. You can have it even in one hand, and has the same design as the phones and same build quality and so on. Looks great. Samsung then. I start with their presentation, their keynote, if you know what I mean. It was, as usual, a terrible keynote. Kinda silly actually. Embarrassing. And I mean, that woman on the scene, she is a famous iPhone user, and they have her presenting new Galaxy devices. It makes it even more silly and embarrassing really. So that is something that Samsung need to work on. Their presentations is really terrible. But they presented the Galaxy Note 4. It looks just the same really, exactly as the Galaxy Note 3, so no difference there. But better specs and so on, more feature for the S Pen, and I don't like the S Pen, so. And their ads for the Note 4 is very active and so on, but I'm sure that in real life no one uses the S Pen when you're skating or longboarding or so on, so that's kind of silly. The Note Edge then. I did a video about how a three-sided display could be useful a while ago. The Note Edge has only two screens though. You have one smaller screen on the right side of the phone, where you can have more like a dock. You can have your app icons there, and you can have notifications, your tweet notifications and all that. So it's kind of handy to have a dock always visible, but you can't almost hold it in your right hand. You have to hold it in your left hand and use the navigation and S Pen and so on with your right hand on the display. So it's nothing for left-handed people, and it's forcing you to always have it in your left hand and so on. And I think it's kind of awkward. It looks awkward to hold this Note Edge in your hand and navigate it. And I can't really see the usefulness in a second edge, a second display on the side of the phone. Well, it's cool the first week to have your clock radio and the clock showing when you're sleeping and so on. I think that would be just annoying after a while. So I can hardly see the usefulness in having that small screen on the side of the phone. So I'm not so happy about that. Looks a bit gimmicky to me. But the best thing that Samsung showed us was the new smartwatch, the Gear S. Yes, it's really huge, but I like the design. It looks amazing on your wrist. A 2-inch display that you can use as a smartphone. It has even a SIM card slot, so you can put in your SIM card. You can't be totally smartphone independent though, because you need to have a phone when you want to install apps on it. I'm not sure that you can use any Android phone though. Maybe you need to use just Galaxy phones from Samsung. I'm not sure about that. This smartwatch, the Gear S, I like it a lot. It's the best smartwatch out there today. I think so. Okay, that was a bit about what we have seen on IFA presented there. Please tell me in the comments what you like the most. Okay, bye.